Dude, and welcome back to Hanging Out with the Dudes. I'm your host, PC, and we've got another great episode for you today. But as always, let's see what the fellas are up to. First, as always, there is the main man from way out west, Mr. P. Forcer, the island boy himself. How's it going today?
Well, I do find it incredibly fascinating, this case study of the New York Jets. It's rough. It's rough out here. It's gotten worse, which is the craziest part. Um, but we'll get into that. Other than that, it's pretty good. Nice day today. Not a whole bunch of rain. Fantasy team did good. We'll get into that as well. I won in all three of my fantasy leagues, so at least something's going for me. And yeah, just loving football other than the only thing I like in my entire life. So, hello, folks.
Yeah, the football's been good. Basketball season's here as well. That's going to be all good stuff. We're finally in that peak
That'll go good
sports
for me as well.
right here, about November through January. It's real peak football and basketball. So good times here. And then of course, Mr. K. Steltzer, how's it cooking over there?
A lot cooking. Chiefs, Jayhawks. Pretty good. Pretty good. But can't complain right now. I don't like the darkness coming as soon as it is. I always remind myself that once daylight savings time comes around, it just sucks. I hate it. Hate when it's like 5 o'clock and it's dark. And it's like, dude, come on. It's annoying.
Yeah, no, it's definitely when you get up to go to work in the morning and it's dark, and then you leave and it's dark. It's getting to the gloomy days for sure. So, hopefully everybody's in high spirits. But as always, let's get to why everybody actually watches this, and that's to listen about three dorks talk about sports. But the first one we're obviously going to start off with is NCAA football. As always, we're getting real close to the end here, fellas. It's good. Week 12 just finished. So we've got, roughly, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks left in the college football season. Or 3 weeks left. 1, 2, 3, 3. 3 weeks left. So it should be interesting. From this current last week, my quick notes on this. The number 1 overall team, Oregon, beat Wisconsin. But they had to come back from, they were losing this game. And had to actually come back and barely scrape by the 5-5 Wisconsin Badgers. Oregon ended up winning 16-13. Dylan Gabriel, not a great day. One pick, 218 yards, but no touchdowns. Jordan James had 121 yards and a touchdown on the ground.
Just got smoked.
Did he really? Jiminy Christmas. But yeah, Oregon was able to squeak past Wisconsin, so they're still undefeated, the number 1 team in the nation. The number 2 team, Ohio State, was the other one I wanted to cover quickly out of the top 5. That, not Ohio. Ohio State beat Northwood pretty crazily at Wrigley Field. That was a really cool venue for them to do that game at. And then Texas was the one I was actually going to say beat Arkansas 20-10. That was in our picks. We'll get to our picks here in just a little bit, but a few close calls for some top seeds there, but they get the job done, so that's all that matters. LSU, man, LSU lost to Florida. It's been kind of a rough and back-to-back losses here. And, it is what it is for LSU. Sorry, Nick Howard. I heard that he was whale hunting in Japan right now. I think that's what he's doing. Don't know 100%, but, it is what it is with Howard. But LSU loses to the Florida, and that was a pretty big loss. Mizzou. Stinks for you guys. Don't really feel that bad, but you ended up losing 30-34 to South Carolina. South Carolina gets another good win. Both those teams are bowl teams, but not playoff teams. But good win on South Carolina. Mizzou, you had your chance, and you blew it. So go figure. Sucks for the Tigers, but again, don't really feel that bad. Big game of the week was Georgia or Tennessee coming into Georgia, into Athens, Georgia, and boy did Georgia tell them what was up and made the SEC even crazier right now with Tennessee losing. Tennessee lost. Let's see, where's this number at? 31-17. So, the SEC is one wild ride right now. Let's go look at these standings here. Obviously, at the top of the leaderboard is the Longhorns. But then Texas A&M actually finds himself in second. Georgia's third. Tennessee is fourth. Bama fifth. And Ole Miss sixth. And all those teams, those 6 teams, are within one game of each other. There's only one team that's 9-1 overall, and that's Texas. And then Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and Ole Miss are all 8-2 squads fighting for their life for the college football playoff. See if the committee will let them in. But yeah, good win for Georgia, a must win. Everybody kind of expected them to win just because it was in Athens. They needed a win, and Kirby wasn't going to be allowed for the first time when the college football playoff gets expanded to not be in that in the Georgia Bulldogs team. So good win. Carson Beck played pretty good, but the defense really showed up too. And then finally, Rock Chalk, baby, going to BYU. Going to BYU.
Is Jaden Daniels a Heisman candidate?
Definitely not. No way. I'm surprised he's even, I'm just glad he's going to be gone next year, honestly. I'm ready for the next part of this. Isaiah Marshall will be really good, but hopefully they can win that, and then hopefully they can beat Colorado next week, which would be a huge win for them as well. We start calling the Kansas Kingslayers at that point. Hopefully they could still make a bowl if they win out. If they beat Colorado and they beat Baylor, they will make a bowl at 6-6. Not the season Kansas was hoping for, but if they could turn it around and win 4 in a row here, you realize that something is kind of brewing, and I think it was a lot of Jalen Daniels. But good win for KU. They play Colorado at Arrowhead, which, speaking of that is one of our picks for this week. But let's go over last week's. Man, has it gotten close between the dudes. First off, let's start with the person that was currently in first place. P4, main man from way out west, had some real bad weeks here. He went 1-3 again this week. He had BYU winning, and they lost. Had South Carolina winning by more than minus 13.5, and they didn't. He did get Arkansas right, and then ended up picking Tennessee. So he finds himself at 20-24 after a really hot start to the season. Then you've got myself. I actually went 3-1 this week. I picked Kansas. I picked Mizzou to cover the points, making me 2-0. I picked Texas, and they didn't win by more than 16.5, so I'm 2-1 there. And then I picked the Georgia Bulldogs, and now I'm got 3-1. And I'm also 20-24 going into week 13, so it's going to be really interesting. And then Stelting is not far behind. He went 3-1 as well, picking KU. He picked South Carolina, which is the one that he missed. Picked Arkansas, and then picked Georgia as well. So, the matchups for this week. We've got 4 more for them, as always. Remember the stakes, the odds in this. If you lose, you face the wheel of punishment, which, by the way, has only been used on me. Actually, Kyle once in the very beginning that we ever did Smart or Dumb, but I'm like 0 for a million in Smart or Dumb. So I'm spun this wheel a lot, like I see somebody else spin it. But the first game on the docket is undefeated number 24 Army going into Notre Dame to play them, the number 8 team in the nation. However, the line is pretty bonkers. It is Notre Dame minus 17.
Wow.
Lot of points. A lot of disrespect for our nation's military. But, the sports bettors are the sports bettors. P4, what you think? You think Notre Dame's going to blow out another one of America's armed forces as they did with Navy here the last few weeks? Or do you think Army is going to cover the points or maybe even potentially win one for the Americans because nobody likes Notre Dame?
Yeah, Notre Dame hasn't even had a close game in their last 5 games. They need to win to get that. national or that at-large bid because there's going to be so many two-loss SEC teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you lose this one, it's especially being an independent.
What do you have the spread as?
Minus 17.
I got minus 15.5 here. Opened at minus 17.
Oh, sorry. I saw it on ESPN today.
Oh, wow. Higgins, let's go, let's go. F you, Dylan, F you. Tell him right now, tell him right now, tell him right now. He sucks.
Get Dylan, get Dylan.
See if he comes out. I bet he won't.
New setup, by the way, if you guys haven't noticed. We got the television over there, hockey table. Pretty cool.
New setup.
I like it. I love it. Want some more of it? Yeah, I had to move. My bedroom was just like, I can't even do it. You guys haven't noticed I'm a loser who lives at home. It's nice though. What'd he say?
Oh, nothing. He just said he's currently busy and his team is 3-7. So why would he want to come talk about his shitty fantasy team? But
I don't care, dude.
that's how it is with him.
It's getting closer for him to have to do the punishment. That's what happens.
No, it's not going to be him. We'll go over the playoffs here when we get to NFL. Let's wait till NFL.
Casey Rose just won.
Yeah, but then I beat Alex. I beat LaBarge. So, or I should. It's not over yet. I should win, but we'll see. But okay, P4, are you picking Notre Dame or are you picking Army?
If I get 15, oh fuck.
I'll give you the 15.5. I'll give you the 15.5. Because I thought it was on ESPN earlier that it was 17, but it doesn't matter. It's no big deal. The line said it's 15.5 now.
Yeah, an Army, 644 yards on the season. If they get behind, they're just gonna get blown out. Notre Dame.
P4 is taking Notre Dame with the points. K-Stel, are you going to disgrace our nation's military just like P4 did as like an unappreciated American of our armed forces in the Army
I'm going to take Army covering. Army covering. What,
Right.
17.5?
It's 15.5.
15.5, Army covering.
Kyle's going Army, and I do not disrespect our men in service. Shout out my boy Philip in Austin, who were both in the military and Army as well. Let's go Army. I'm going to take Army as well with the points. Game number 2, number 6 BYU going into Arizona State. The line is Arizona State minus 3.5.
They're going into where?
Going into Arizona State. They're playing at Arizona State. BYU's playing.
Arizona State, BYU.
And Arizona State, if they win out and they beat BYU and Kansas beats Colorado and K-State loses one more, I think they're in. Or maybe it's
K-State has to lose one more.
I think
Colorado
it's
has to
Iowa State
lose.
that has to lose. Colorado, BYU, and Iowa State.
has to
Because
lose
K-State
one more.
lost to Arizona State this last week, actually. So, K-State, what do you got? You think Arizona State's going to win, or you think the Cougs bounce back?
I think let me say something very, very clear here. I do believe that K-State is a better team than what their record shows, but they are not that much better than what they show. I do believe that Iowa State is fraudulent, as we could tell. I do believe that BYU is fraudulent. I saw their game against Utah. Utah is a worse team than KU, despite the record, and Utah almost beat them. BYU is not a good team. K-State, I think, is a solid team, especially when they play at home. The fact that Arizona went in there and beat them in Manhattan, Kansas says a lot. I got Arizona State.
Are you joining in on one of the biggest party schools, man from way out west? You're known to party a little bit. Are you going to go with the Cougs getting the bounce back?
A lot of close games. Except they beat Arizona. That was in Utah, though. Arizona State still has a chance. K-State, they've got a lot of close games. Beat Utah, that was Arizona, though. Ooh, very interesting. Arizona State minus 3.5. Fuck.
3.5. So you can't take the game-winning field goal. Won't be enough.
Probably won't be enough. I'm going BYU. Taking points.
I am going to agree. Man, I really. I don't want to
No,
say
you
that.
can't. You
I
can't.
can't
You
agree.
can't.
I can't agree with Kyle. I'm changing my answer. I'm changing my answer.
No.
Changing
You
my
can't.
answer.
No.
I didn't even
no.
say anything yet. You're looking at the doc. That's why I have it written down already. I could change my mind. I haven't said anything yet. I'm picking the Cougs.
No, but you said that you couldn't change your mind. You can't change your mind to agree with me. That's gonna fuck up mine. I'm on a cold streak right now. You're just gonna make it worse.
I'm on a hot streak. I've been like
Good.
3-1 in the last
Stay
4
with
weeks.
it. Stay with what you were doing. Hot streak. Help Kyle out a little bit. But there's
No, I
way
want
I'm
him to
I'm gonna
lose.
get it right.
I don't
I
care
would
about
rather-
whoever
I would
you
rather
guys
he
pick.
would lose.
I'm good right now. I'm rolling. Started off slow, just like the Jayhawks. Starting off
There you
slow,
guys go.
we're
You
clawing
guys are
back.
hot. You guys go with Arizona State.
I'm going with the Cougs. I'm going with the Cougs. I think the Cougs are going to win. Probably the
You
biggest
like
game.
Soaker. He's a Soaker lover.
Probably the best game of the weekend is going to be this number 5 undefeated Indiana going into Ohio State, number 2 in the nation. But the line is pretty big as well. It's Ohio State minus 12. The main man for way out west. Are you rolling with Will Howard in the Ohio State Buckeyes? Or are you taking the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers football? I said football team. But minus 12 points, though.
At Ohio State.
Yeah, at Ohio State. I'll even write down my answer first so I don't even change it.
Oh, dude.
There,
I
my
love
answer's-
Blowing
Indiana.
everybody out.
Their
Indiana's
offense is
a
so good.
really good
Their
football
offense is so good. It's
Really-
like, how did they just...
really good offense.
I'll take the points.
Indiana the points.
If you'll give me 12 points, I'll take 12 points.
All right. Okay, Jayhawker, are you taking Will Howard in his old K-State ways, or are you taking the undefeated Hoosiers in the points?
Is Iowa State undefeated this year?
No, they lost to
Or
Oregon.
Ohio State, my bad. Ohio
to
State, are they
Oregon.
undefeated?
Lost to Oregon. Very early on in the year. And it was like a last...
I cannot.
That was the thing when he shoved in like 12 people on the field or whatever. I remember that game because like he like Lanning like put 12 people on the field at the time, so they like couldn't. They got a penalty instead of
Ohio State is minus 12.
yeah.
I'm just gonna have to go Indiana to cover.
Man,
I mean, that's ridiculous. Their
12 points
offense,
is a lot.
their offense is not that. Like, there's no way Ohio State's defense is that much better than Indiana's offense.
Yeah, I don't have any faith in Will Howard.
Colorado.
I don't think Will Howard's any good. I haven't really thought of that since I saw him at K-State 2 years ago. We're going to take a clean sleep here and do Indiana because I had that written down. But, I mean, 12 points is a lot, especially with Indiana's offense. So, yeah. And then finally, our last game. I will be at this game, which is pretty dope. Colorado is coming to Arrowhead to play Kansas. Colorado is only a minus 2.5 point favorite. Man, for way out west, I put mine down already, so I won't change it. Are you going to rock with the Jayhawks? Or are you going to continue to doubt the Kingslayers and pick against them again? And pick the probable Heisman Trophy winner. Unless Genty breaks Barry Sanders' record, which I don't think he will.
Another close one. 2.5. Home team getting points I usually don't pick against.
It's not home, though. I mean, it is, but not. You know what I mean? It's an Arrowhead.
Is that where Travis is going to be playing next season?
Travis won't be playing football next season.
Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter? Oh, I thought you were talking about Travis Kelsey. I don't know why I thought that because Chiefs. I don't know. Whatever. Travis Hunter? No, he'll go somewhere else.
All right. Well, home team getting points. Let me get those points.
P4's joined Hawk Nation. Are you gonna go against your team, Kyle, or are we clean sweeping this? Because I'm picking the Jayhawks. Because I haven't lost when I picked the Jayhawks quite yet.
Do you see the hat? Do you see the hat I'm wearing right now? Look at what I'm wearing. I would be this would be the most egregious sin to do if I didn't pick the Hawks. I have never been a fan of Dion, his coaching at least. I think his coaching is insane. He's got talent on his team. I think Shadar Sanders is overrated. I think all this hype, Nick Howard, I'm talking to you, all this hype is garbage. He's not going to be an NFL quarterback. He'll be a backup at best, but he won't even be close to Jabu. All right? So I'm going with the Hawks, and yeah, they're whatever covering, dude. They're going to beat him, but they're going to beat him by more than 10, dude.
I don't think it'll be that bad. I think it'll be a great game. But we have a few of us that are clean sweeping here, so either all of us can be really good or it'll be a little bit bad. We have a few people. We have a few different ones here that will give us some separation, some points. But we will come back to that next week. Let's go to the professional side of football. Let's talk about some NFL. We can talk about the Thursday night game, which was a pretty good game against the Commanders and the Eagles. Saquon had 2 touchdowns and 145 yards. I mean, giving that guy an actual good offensive line was probably a great idea instead of the Giants. So, Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts didn't really have to do a lot when you got Saquon going for 145. And, you know, he ran 1 touchdown in, but with that tush push, but good on the Philadelphia Eagles. They go to 8-2. Jaden Daniels went 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 190 yards. Not a bad day for the rookie, but the rookie's having a great season. He's probably, would you say he's the front runner for Rookie of the Year? Unless the Broncos make a crazy run. Do you guys think that Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels wins the Rookie of the Year?
Daniels.
Well,
Hold on, PC.
But
Is this
Bo Nix has had. They're 6-5.
what are the stats?
And they're 8-2.
They're 7-4.
7-4.
This is not a real question. Not a real question. I mean, I get it. Jake Morgan said that, but Jake Morgan also.
10 touchdowns and 3
I won't say that about Jake. Jake, I love you, bro. I'm not gonna say that about what happened this week with me, man. I know P4 doesn't know. PC does know what happened to Jake this weekend, bro.
Jake had a wild last weekend.
He had a wild week, bro.
Absolutely. Bo Nix. Okay, so the stats are Bo Nix. 1968 for yards, 10 touchdowns and 6 picks. Yeah, it's probably not even that close. I thought it was a little closer than this, but it's not. 63% completion rating, and then Jaden has 10 TDs, 3 picks, and 2,300 yards with how many games left in the season?
There's 7 games left, depending on who you are, 7 or 8.
Right. So okay. So you don't. So is it honestly really unrealistic if Bo Nix goes off and the Broncos make a push to the playoffs to realistically say that he could?
I mean, what are we talking about? If
it's halfway through the season.
Yeah, if he throws fucking 5 touchdowns a game for the next 6 games, I mean, what do we talk?
Oh yeah, we could do if, but obviously, but I want to know what you think. That's what I'm asking. What do you think?
No.
Do you think he can?
At this point, no. He has shown nothing better than what Jaden has shown.
I would tend to agree with you, but I wanted to see if there was any stir up on maybe you guys thinking somebody else would take this from Jaden Daniels since we're on the Washington topic. But I mean, that's the only guy that I can maybe think of is if Bo Nix goes crazy, and JD
Some
does
good running back.
Oh, He's still
Tyrone
up.
Tracy's a good running back. I would need a list of all the rookie running backs.
Yeah, it's just a quick thought. The Broncos played really well today. Bo Nix had 4 touchdowns, so we'll get to the Broncos here in a second. But yeah, good win.
Ray Davis. A
For-
lot of these rookies aren't getting a whole bunch of touches either.
Right, yeah.
Lad McConkey's doing good.
Vlad is doing well, yeah. Yeah, Lad for the Chargers. The
Let's
Chargers
look up an
are
NFL
currently
rookie
winning.
power rankings. Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, I guess, is doing pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, Neighbors pretty dang good. Yeah.
Brock Bowers, he's killing
He had
it.
a really good game today.
Melvin
I miss
Harrison, he's
Brock.
good.
I miss Brock, but
I think there's a better chance Caleb Williams takes it over from Jaden than fucking Bo Nix.
The Bears are 4-6.
Rookie of the year has nothing to do with team record.
How well
Yeah,
they're
dude.
playing though. But
Caleb
Williams
Williams-
hasn't been playing well though.
dude,
Well, neither is
if
fucking
Caleb
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is playing well these last 4 or 5 weeks.
Bo Nix is on a good team.
They're
Like, his
6
team
and
is
5.
Bo
Their
Nix
team is
looks
set-
like Zach Wilson did 3 years ago, like Sam Darnold did 2 years ago, like fucking Will Levis does. He looks like one of these fucking guys who were the quarterback, who also looked like Josh Allen 5, 6, 7 years ago, who could be a good quarterback or could not be, but he doesn't look as fucking, I don't know who kind of came out and rocked, but like,
CJ.
I don't know, Jared Goff, CJ. That's more what I see out of Jaden Daniels, the
Yeah.
guy who came out and rocked like crazy. Now, these guys who didn't do good off the rip, I mean, fuck, Peyton Manning has the most interceptions record, and he had his rookie year. So, it's not that he won't be good, but Jaden Daniels is head and shoulders above.
And I completely agree with you. I just didn't know if there was any stir-up or conversation that maybe he wouldn't be, but I'm in total agreement with you guys so far. Currently, it's JD above
Broncos can't even
everybody.
kick a field goal.
Yeah, that's true. So that was the Thursday night game. Then today we had the Packers win the game, just like how the Chiefs did last week on a blocked field goal attempt at the very last second. The Packers find themselves at 7-3, but they're in the same division as the Lions, who are, yikes, they're really, really good. But good win for the Pack. Bears fall to 4-6. It is what it is. Caleb Williams had 231
Chiefs cannot
yards.
stop that Lions defense in the Super Bowl, by the way.
No, there's no way. No. It really helped. I mean, like, you hope that people don't get hurt, but it does help that who is the guy that got hurt? Their outside rusher,
Oh, Aiden Hutchinson?
Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, that he's
But that
out.
barely changes anything.
I think their defense is a lot stronger obviously a lot stronger with him on the field.
There is no player in the NFL other than J.J. Watt in his prime that him playing in the game changes the line, other than quarterbacks.
Chris Jones doesn't change the game.
Doesn't change the betting line.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now it changes
yeah.
the game, but he doesn't affect the
Okay, the
points
betting
according to
line.
Vegas.
The betting line.
yeah,
Gotcha.
man. Prime
I think
JJ Watt was another
the
level,
only
dude.
guy, like in his heyday, and I'm not sure about all the way back. I'm sure Lawrence Taylor, maybe even Derek,
Yeah.
the guy for the Chiefs,
Derek Thomas.
Derek Thomas, way back in the day. But
Yeah.
there's no player other than a quarterback that would affect the line. I mean,
Right.
yes, he's very good. He was a very good player, and he still will be. But he's out this season, and I don't see. I mean, they've gotten better since. So.
Yep. It's
I
been
mean, yeah, in like the third down, 3rd and 11 in overtime against the Chiefs. Like if we're doing this hypothetical play, then like yeah, that would be awesome to have him. But they did make a trade for some guy. I forget who it was, but I think with the Browns maybe. Zadarius Smith. I think he was formerly of the Packers, formerly of the Ravens. But they're
Yeah, they're so good. It's crazy.
they're really good. They're really
It's crazy. Speaking of the
Glenn
Lions,
Jett, head coach.
speaking of the Lions, they ended up demolishing the Jacksonville Jaguars 52-6. The Lions are obviously the best team in the NFL right now. Personally, for me,
Is
the way
Trevor
they're playing,
Lawrence like done for?
I don't know. They just paid him all that money, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's like Daniel Jones. What do
Yeah.
you do? You got to ride it out. You can't. You just paid the guy. You can't just be like, oh, okay, we'll throw it in now.
Can I ask a
Can't be
very
like
no?
the New York Jets where you rotate through a quarterback every 2
Well,
seasons.
can we
Pete-
mention that? At least the Jets haven't like broken the bank on
That
these
is
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like, and this may be a dumb question to ask, but if Daniel Jones is asking, how much is Daniel Jones getting paid?
A
What,
lot.
300 mil a year?
Yeah.
35. Not
Not
300 a year.
30.
You fucking retarded.
No, it's
Not
like
not a
40
year, but for his
It's like
contract.
40 a year almost, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
yeah,
he's playing
40
for
a
how
year,
many
but
years?
let's say
So he's like
40.
getting like almost 200,000 or 200
It's
million
like
on his.
4 year, 40 million or something.
Why don't these teams just go no?
Because everybody
I don't
wants to
get it.
get paid.
I saw a clip of this. I forget who it was. It was a former NFL guy, and he said every other position, you have to be elite to get elite money. And there's like 10 to 14 guys at almost every position that could be the highest paid at that position.
Right.
But at quarterback, the wealth is split so unevenly compared to all the other positions. Like, other than the Jacksonville Jaguars paying like below average wide receivers or average wide receivers superstar money, there's no team that like overpays for guys other than quarterbacks. I think Geno Smith, Jamar Chase just got a touchdown to tie it.
Oh,
Other than Geno Smith, there's no quarterback making 20 million,
Right.
and there's like dozens of quarterbacks making 30.
Yeah.
It's
And they're
like,
not even
okay,
good quarterbacks either.
Geno Smith is that gray area where like Geno Smith would be talked bad about if he was making 50 million a year,
Right.
but he's making 20, so it's fine. Same thing with Daniel Jones. If he was making 20, you're fucking still on like some sort of deal that like Zach Wilson kind of would be on, like a fucking, I don't know, 4-year fucking $50 million deal, but there's an option and like the less options for 25 million. Whatever. But I mean, yeah, Mac Jones, Lawrence, Daniel Jones, all these guys that like the Jets were supposed to get. And I wanted to say this because they always do 2020 with the Jets, except for when they're right. But they were supposed to get Trevor Lawrence. Instead, they got Zach Wilson. Oh, they fucked up on Zach Wilson. They're awful. Okay, well, they didn't fuck up on Trevor Lawrence. Is that something at least?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in Jacksonville. They're terrible. They're 2-9. They got a lot of problems to fix. Look at the Lions, though.
Not BTJ. Brandon Thomas Jr. is pretty good.
He is pretty good. Yep. Then we had the Vikings play the Tennessee Titans, Mr. Howard's team. And the Vikings took out the win 23-13. Sam Darnold had 2 touchdowns, 246 yards. Pretty good game for old Sam there.
Nick Westbrook Akine.
Yep. Will Levis had 295 yards and a touchdown and kind of threw a pick at the very end of the game that really sealed it for the Vikings. So, again, Vikings find themselves at 8-2, so that's crazy. The NFC North has 9-1, 8-2, 7-2, or not 7-2, 7-3. And then the Bears at 4-6. But I mean, that NFC North is wild at the very top. They might get that 5 and 6 seed because of how good that division is. But the Vikings and Sam Darnold, it's always good to see it. I mean, even though he's not a Jet, at least he's succeeding somewhere else. I know you wish he was a Jet, but you know, it is what it is. The Dolphins got a win again. They're 34-19. Devon Achane had a really good game. He ended up with 73 yards and a touchdown. Tua had 3 touchdowns and 280 yards. 2 of those touchdowns were to Jonnu Smith. And then we were talking about rookies earlier. We're talking about Brock Bowers really coming into form here in Vegas here. Yep. He had 13 receptions, 126 yards, and a touchdown today. He's doing extremely well for the Raiders. They get another loss. They don't have a quarterback. They've got Minshew Magic, but it's obviously not working. They're looking for a quarterback in the draft coming up. Then we had another terrible game of the Rams and the Patriots. Nobody really cares about either one of these teams. Matthew Stafford had 4 tutties, though, with 295 yards. You know, had 2 of them to Kupp, 1 of them to Puka. Drake May, two touchdowns, 280 yards, a pick. You know, it came down to it ended up being 28-22, so it was actually a pretty decent game. But, It is these two teams probably not making the playoffs. The Rams have a slight chance, but
Rams have a pretty good chance in that.
yeah, because the NFC West, kind of all over the place. But good win for the Rams. The Browns and the Saints played, and the Saints are now have won 2 in a row thanks to Taysom Hill, who had a 75-yard touchdown and 3 touchdowns today, all on his own, running the ball. So pretty crazy stuff there. Taysom Hill's one of those weird guys that can kind of do everything. The Browns, they suck, but go figure. They don't have a quarterback, and they suck before they had Massage Parlor Watson anyways. So
Winston threw the ball 45 times.
yeah, Winston's not terrible, but it's Jameis isn't your long-term solution. Hopefully you can find somebody in the draft.
Why can't he be? He's the best quarterback that the Browns probably had.
Yeah, but I don't think Jameis just doesn't have it as well anymore. Like, I think if they would have gotten him, given him a chance again, like when he was in Tampa, like when he was that age, he could have really succeeded. But now that he's kind of a little older now, I think he's a great, solid backup for you. Or like if you need a win out of like a short-term injury thing, but as a long-term solution, Winston isn't that guy. That personally.
Well, we just talked about how we are paying below-average quarterbacks too much money. And you have guys like Joe Flacco and Jameis Winston that are getting paid fucking chiclets, and they're going out and winning games.
Yeah, it's the QB and the pay scale is pretty wild. But good on the Saints to go 4-7. They're not like in like first round or first overall draft pick talk anymore, but 4-7 still not any good for New Orleans. And then I guess we can get to the New York game. P4. How was the Jets another heartbreaker here? 27.
I mean, I called
27.
it. Yeah, Anthony Richardson was going to lead the game in rushing, and he didn't quite do that, but he did better than Jonathan Taylor. He was the best running back on the field. Breece Hall still didn't get over 20 carries, so what the fuck. Braylon Allen had 2 carries. Tyler Conklin had a very hilarious carry, where you have an all-pro running back and a 240-pound rookie running back, and you put a tight end under center on 4th and 1 to do like your own version of the tush-push kind of weird thing. Aaron Rodgers had a carry for 7 yards. That was on a 3rd down. Moved the chains, but other than that, looked pedestrian. I mean, he doesn't look any better. The thing I would say with Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold is you would get wow moments. You don't get any wow moments with Aaron. Now, he can diagnose the defense better, so there's less turnovers. But Devontae might be the most athletic and smart wide receiver I've ever seen the Jets have. It was incredible watching him with the ball in his hands today. Garrett Wilson's also like that. Garrett Wilson's a little more fluid, but Devontae is such a strong, powerful athlete. And very quick on his feet still. So I hope he stays. I hope Aaron stays. I hope they figure something out. But I don't know what it is. It's bad. Got to run the football. I mean, 20 carries as a team. 4.6 yards a clip isn't bad. 1 touchdown along of 18. I mean, 20-yard plus plays. We did have a couple with Devontae Adams and a couple catches by Breece Hall. I mean, he's the number 1 wide receiver on the team at this point. Other than that, leading the team in tackles is Michael Clemens. That should never happen. Absolutely ridiculous for the Jets. I mean, yeah, there's not much to say. Thomas Morstead, punts, good. Anders Carlson, good kicker, I guess. Packers drafted him last year. But the Colts, they don't look too bad. Anthony Richardson, I think it's the right choice going with him going forward. The only way he's going to learn is by learning. Can't take him out, put him in. Same thing that happened with Zach. Same thing that happened with Sam. Just let him grow. Let him do his thing. 5-6, you got a good home win or away win. So keep going. Good luck to the Colts. We bleed blue. Yeah, go Jets. We'll see what happens.
Jets are finding themselves 3-8 now. Colts are 5-6. They're still kind of in this contention for this playoff spot there. But it's just unfortunate to see the Jets not be so good. The Steelers ended up beating the Ravens 18-16. The Ravens were down. They scored a touchdown, and then the reason they lost by 2 is they went for a 2-point conversion and failed. Trying to tie the game up. Couldn't get the job done. Russell Wilson didn't have a touchdown, had one pick, but 205 yards. Man, they kicked field goals.
Justin Fields.
That reminds me of
Chris Boswell went 6.
Oh, it was a backward pass.
I don't know if it was.
Oh, it was a backward pass.
Tipped. He would only say tipped if it was incomplete.
Chris Boswell had 6 field goals, 6 for 6 today, long of 57. That's why the Steelers have 18 points. They couldn't even put the ball in the end zone.
That reminds me of a Chiefs game that once happened in the playoffs at one point in time.
Lamar had 1 touchdown and 200 yards.
Peyton Wilson had an interception, a really cool interception.
Yeah.
Wish he was on my team.
But Steelers are 8-2, man, and they're going to be a really tough seed in the AFC, especially with experience. Russell Wilson at quarterback. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, on them, but obviously a great win. The Broncos and Bo Nix. Bo Nix has been taking off here in the last 4 weeks. He had four touchdowns and 307 yards. Javonte Williams had 59 yards and a touchdown that was really cool. He got stopped at like the 2-yard line, and then the entire offensive line got behind him and pushed him into the end zone. So the Broncos demolished the Falcons, which the Falcons, Kirko Chains, man, did not play well. 1 pick, no touchdowns, 173 yards. Penix got in the very end of the game, but it was during slop time, so nothing really crazy. But, yeah, good for the Broncos, good for the AFC West, I guess.
Bijan Robinson, only 12 carries. I mean, it's the same fucking thing. It's a pandemic in the NFL. These teams are refusing to run the football. It's fucking ridiculous.
I could not agree with you more, P4. Bijan Robinson is one of the greatest talents we've seen in the running back position.
I mean, it's the same fucking thing. Jameer.
They all have that same talent where it's their ability to cut and their ability to make linebackers miss is phenomenal. And luckily enough that Jets make up Breece's attempts on the rush with catches, which I do appreciate. But at the end of the day, Breece Hall having 12 rushing attempts is ridiculous. It's just the guy is way too talented to not touch the ball more than at least 18 times in a game.
He's on a rookie fucking contract. So is I mean, this is the reason you draft these running backs so high.
He was 8th overall.
First round, Breece Hall 2nd round. Jahmyr Gibbs is running back 2, and he's getting more touches than the both of them combined.
Yeah. That's why Detroit's so good, too, man. They run the ball so well.
Bobby Solonik, he's getting Joe Mixon the ball, and now the Bengals, they have no idea how to run the fucking football because they got rid of Joe Mixon because they thought he had nothing left in the tank. Oh, we'll just pick somebody off the street, they said. And then Bobby Solonik said, fuck, I'll take Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon having another career year.
Yeah, the Texans, they play on Monday night. That'll be a good one. Good win for Bo Nix. The Bijan only getting 12 rushing attempt is wild, especially for how good he is. And then we had the Seattle Seahawks squeak out a win against the 49ers. They won 20-17. Geno had a scramble in the final seconds to get them the win. Geno ended up with one rushing touchdown and a pick. Brock Purdy had a touchdown and a pick as well. Christian played okay. It was just an okay game for the 49ers. They're 5-6, a weird 5-6 team. But that NFC West is crazy with them and the Cardinals. And Seattle getting that win's huge for them. So the NFC West is still very much a toss-up. But Seattle got right back on track. They were losing a lot of games, and now they're starting to get back to that winning football that they had at the beginning of the year. And then finally, the last game we'll talk about for Sunday. Then we have obviously the nightcap here that's currently going on. Tie game 27-27 in the fourth. But there is no more undefeated teams anymore in the NFL. The Chiefs lost to the Bengals 30-21. Patty played okay, I guess. He's had a rough year. It's definitely not been his best year. But still nothing terrible. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Those 2 picks were pretty costly. Josh Allen, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 throwing, an interception, 262 yards, passing. The Bills, man, they just, every time it seemed like the Chiefs were coming back a little bit, they just punched them again in the mouth with another touchdown or like a key play. The Chiefs just couldn't get it done. They just didn't play well enough. The Bills played really well. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They're 9-1. Can't really be too mad about it. Like, I mean, no one has ever gone undefeated and won a Super Bowl. So,
What?
gone undefeated and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is there any team that's done that?
1972 Miami Dolphins.
How do you even know that?
What are you talking about?
You act like
It's
that's
the
just
only
something.
undefeated team. Yeah. Larry Zonka. Shout out Larry Zonka. Pop the champagne tonight, buddy. Go Chiefs, go Orange Men.
Christ. Whatever.
Only ball carrier to get a unnecessary roughness penalty. He was carrying the ball and he stiff-armed a guy so good that the referee said, nope, you can't do that.
I could be right. I could be wrong. What? Yeah, no, Cuse. You already said that. I was like, I think he played for Syracuse.
No, that's.
But you already said that.
Zonka.
Yeah. But Chiefs go 9-1.
Yeah, Don Shula.
K-Stel, you got any thoughts on the game?
I thought this was Spag's worst defensive game calling. Spy on Josh Allen was almost non-existent in the times that mattered most.
Wow,
A
almost
lot
like
of
Willie Gay and Ladarius Sneed would have really
Lot-
helped you guys out.
I mean,
Willie
I
Gay,
mean, Leo.
Spy, and Ladarius
I-
Sneed.
I mean, legit.
Amari
I
Cooper.
whoa, stop. Chanel is our spy. He just wasn't used as a spy. He just was kind of in some. It was really odd. I thought it was interesting that Spags kind of ran this weird. He cover zero blitzed a ton. And it was almost like so predictive. It was like how, like, I know Spags, he's not just this predictive when he comes to these play calls. His zone calls were a little soft. It just seemed interesting. I'm not saying that they were attempting to lose the game. I'm not saying that they were attempting to show Buffalo something different that they may in the playoffs, but it was odd to see that. Chiefs defensive line needs to wake up. Who's that kid that we traded for the New England Patriots?
Uche.
Yeah.
Where is he? Can't find him anywhere. He's not playing. We still have Felix, whatever that kid is from K-State, who is awful. He's awful, is what he is. Still getting the majority of the snaps because he was a Kansas City fan growing up. That doesn't mean he was a first-round pick, by the way, guys.
Noah Gray.
I like Noah Gray. No, I get it. I think Andy Reid is still not opening up his playbook like he normally does during the regular season. Josh Allen's really,
Is he
really
pulling
good.
punches for this game?
Not like Tyson.
Not like Tyson. Tyson pulled way too many punches. He did have some, tricks up the sleeve. I mean, the Chiefs did want to win this game, but they didn't want to win this game with their best, book. Because, I mean, every team wants to win the game in the regular season without their best book. Josh Allen's just a really good quarterback, is what he is. He's a really good quarterback. The Chiefs' defense gave the Bills too many breaks. I'll tell you this right now. I don't know if I've seen a better team in the NFL this season who is that good on third downs. I mean, I swear, every single time it was the Chiefs would hold the Bills to like 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, and it would be 15 yards right after that. It was insane. The Bills are a good team. I still think right now, I'm being straight up with you, after watching Detroit, I think Detroit's the best team in the NFL right now at this point. Now, when we get to the playoffs and the Chiefs do what they normally do, we'll maybe go, But the Detroit Lions are phenomenal. I don't think I've seen a team this...
Is it just a loss in the playoffs until you go, oh, that's not what they normally do anymore? Because I agree with you. Right, and Tony kind of alluded to it during the game. Like, even with a 9-point deficit at the 2-minute warning, he's like, hey, there's that guy on the sideline. At what point do they kind of lose that magic? And I get this is the first loss. This may be an overreaction, but
No. I mean,
what has to happen until you go, oh my, they
I think. Well, I'll be honest with you. I think their defensive line, kind of being a little bit non-existent since the Tampa Bay game, is a little odd, and I don't think many people are pointing that out. I think they're just going, well, Chris Jones can't do everything, but at the end of the day, now Omenahue's coming back, so we're gonna have Omenahue, Dana, Karloftis and Uche for our rushers, and yet we still have not been able to find a clear path, a clear dominant factor. That's one reason. That's one thing where if that continues in the next 3 weeks, I'm gonna go, oh crap! Like this is just talent that's just not performing. And then I will say the second thing is just our depth in the defensive backs. Losing that kid, who's that kid number 35? Forgot. He was our DB2, or I guess our CB2, if you want to be completely honest. Is kind of spread out.
Jalen Watson.
Oh my word.
Jalen Watson was a fantastic. He wasn't the best cover,
Washington State.
but what he could do is he was able to lock down those, outside screen passes and all those other things that come with the kind of extracurricular stuff from the quarterback, or maybe a out route. But he was able to kind of lock that down, and now we have a lot of younger guys that really don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're supposed to be in the defense. So, yeah, I think our defense is probably going to be the reason where we go, yeah, this is not what we're supposed to be seeing. Because for the past 2 years, our defense has been the reason we've won games, to be completely honest with you. Patrick's going to be Patrick. Like, their offense is going to figure it out at the end of the day. It's their defense that just needs to get it together.
Yep, Chiefs ended up losing. First loss of the season. Nothing too big to worry about just yet. But yeah, some of those points K-Stel brought up could make this into a little bit of a concern. I thought we have one more game. It's the Monday night game. It's the Texans. I had it up.
Versus Dallas.
Dallas, yeah. So we'll have to see. That's probably gonna be I don't know. Unless Dallas can figure out how to wake up, probably not. But who knows?
Is Dak even playing tomorrow? He's injured, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be Cooper Rush.
If it's Cooper Rush, then the Texans are definitely winning.
I think, yeah.
We would look at fantasy football real quick here. We're a week out from playoff time. We can go over the playoff here and stuff. We pull this up. All right, so I'll go through the scores real quick. Currently, I'm beating Alex Labarge. I'm looking to go 8-3 now. Looks like we got this pretty much wrapped up, unless Rico goes off. He might. We'll have to wait and see on that. Speaking of Ethan Crandall, he ended up getting a victory over Caleb, which is pretty big it'll be in the playoff standings, especially since Casey Rose got a win this week. Which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, Dak's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, so that
That's
Dallas
what I
game's not
thought.
going to be any good. But good win for Ethan. Then this one, how about BTA, main man from way out west, pulling up 7-4 now. Going to be really good, really hard team to beat. Nick Howard's team is also going to be 7-4. So definitely.
I would also like to mention, Fantasy Pros, you have a wonderful website. I do appreciate kind of the stuff you guys do. I am paying you guys fucking $7 a month or something to use your machine, and I am power ranked rest of the season 11th out of 12, and I have been the entire season. You gave me an F on my draft, give me an F on all my pickups. My team's cooking.
Team is playing pretty well right now. Absolutely, yeah. It's 7-4. Going to be a nice seed in the playoffs. Should have a first round bye. There, we'll wait and see. This was the biggest upset of the week. Casey Rose gets his third win of the year over the number one ranked team in the league this year, and Jake Morgan. He falls to 8-3. But good win for Casey. He maybe stays out of that comedy club special. We don't know yet. Depends on how Labarge does. They're going to be tied there. I think Alex was. Actually, Alex Labarge is losing.
Is there going to be a toilet bowl between the two last?
There is. Yep, the last seeded team, there's a toilet bowl. And whoever loses that, I'll put it as the loser. Because then they'll still play. And then.
Do you think even if the records are not the same?
No, I don't think if they'll still play. We can talk about this.
4-11, okay. Yeah.
Let's talk about it off, and then because I don't think if one team's losing by two games or whatever, I mean, they've lost the league.
Wow.
That's
Look
how it
at
is.
my specials, dude. Look at Devo.
Yep.
Then, yep, Kyle's team's rocking and rolling too. He's gonna be 8-3. He's up there with myself and Jake. Maybe.
CD.
Yep, CD Lamb's gonna be pretty crucial here. CJ Stroud
I
tomorrow
got CJ
night.
Stroud.
It's looking pretty good for K-Stout here, but let's go look at these current standings. Obviously, we're not updated yet, but top 3 right now are going to be Jake, myself, and then Kyle here at 8-3. 7-4 is going to be Nick Howard, Ethan, and P4, and then we kind of drop off here a little bit. Let's go look at these projected playoffs. So you saw the playoffs work. We only have the last 2 teams playing. The only teams that can't make the playoffs are the last 2. It's like a toilet bowl type thing. I gave people a first round bye that deserved it. I wanted 10 of us in there. So this is how it currently looks. This will be updated tomorrow, obviously, when the new rankings come out. Not tomorrow, Tuesday. But Jake's right now the number 1 seed with the bye. I'm with the bye at 2. Here's 3 for Howard. P4's got a bye at 6. Kyle's got a bye at 4. So the only people that are probably going to play each other are 8 and 9 and 10 and 7 to play those top 2 seeds. Everybody else gets pretty much a bye into the second round. That week will be kind of nice off week for us fantasy footballers that we can not really have to look at that league specifically. I'll help out the other ones there. But this should lead to some intriguing matchups. It'd be really great. I think Kyle here will move to 3, and if P4 could stay, I would love to see a Kyle P4 quarterfinal final matchup. Would be fun and interesting.
We had a pretty monumental shift in our trade. Our trade was pretty flipped our team.
But yeah, we've got only a few weeks left.
So did me and Nick Howard, the tight ends.
Nick
Yeah,
Howard.
the tight end. They did nothing. They did nothing.
But yeah, fantasy football, we're getting close to the wire here, man. We're getting close to figuring out who's going to have our comedy special, where they're going to perform live on Dudes and Sports. We'll figure that out, details and all of that once the league's over. But good NFL week. Let's quickly go over college basketball. Only a few things here to look at. Nothing crazy. We can go back and look at Tuesdays. Usually what used to be the start of the season for college basketball, the biggest games. It's not like that anymore. But there was 2 really, really big games. KU beat Michigan State. It was a pretty ugly game, honestly. The only person that really played any well was Hunter Dickinson. And Michigan State stayed in it forever, but KU was ended up getting the win. Good win on KU. Again, another kind of sloppy win, but still a win in its own. Duke goes down to Kentucky in Pope's
3-1.
Pope's era. It's hard because, and I heard this on another podcast. It's a great point. It's hard when you have 5 kids that are 5-star athletes who are usually the best player on their team to be able to go against 22. Even 22, 23-year-olds.
Did you listen to Field of 68?
No, I listened to Ion College Basketball Podcast
with
Gary
Ion,
Parrish
and
Matt Norlander. Shout out to those guys. Those guys
they're good too.
But Arizona lost to Wisconsin.
Yeah, Arizona losing to Wisconsin was pretty huge. Then we had, but on Duke. Cooper Flag, last 2 possessions, 2 turnovers, but that's kind of how it is. Remember in his AAU team, he's obviously the best player.
This
on the
does
floor.
not, it does not
It's
discount
already
how
season
good of a
loss.
player he is. He is one of the best players I've seen in college basketball as a freshman in a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah, he's astonishing. He's astonishing. He had 29 points, 2 bad turnovers, but all growing pains. Still really early. Still really early in the season.
He's gonna have 30 points, bro.
And then we had Texas A&M beating Ohio State in a 20v20 matchup. It was like 22 and 24. Texas A&M had that loss earlier on to UCF. Got a bounce back win over there, Ohio State. Good for them. And then the biggest game of the weekend was number 2 Alabama going to Purdue, and Purdue putting on a great display, winning 78 to 67. and they played really well. Braden Smith had a great game. Alabama just kind of looked a little flat, but it's at Purdue. It's a tough place to play. It's not like playing quite at Fog Allen, but it's one up there for sure. So good win for Purdue.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Okay.
Sure, it's really loud.
Yeah,
No.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Allen Fieldhouse, Cameron Indoor. That's it. That's it.
Why? Because it's the only two teams people like on
And
this
in
podcast.
the opposite order.
No, because they're both. Yeah, they're both really good. Purdue. Are you kidding me? Purdue. Purdue's
has a
not
good
a
atmosphere.
What about Hoosiers?
They're not a cathedral of basketball.
Indiana's only good when they're good. And they haven't been very good. They've been okay.
They also got a goofy look. I hate their arena. It's the dumbest arena in the
It's so
planet.
old.
It's like, why are they so tall? Like, it's just so tall.
I don't
Hey,
know. There's
get
lot
a
of
measuring tape, Kyle.
tradition.
It's
Measure.
the same baseline. It's the same fucking. It's the same free throws, 3-point line.
Anyway, good win for Purdue. I got quickly my top 5. It hasn't it shook up a little bit because I had Alabama up there. They were my actual national championship winners, my favorites, but I don't think. It's really early on in the year. Who knows? But I've got KU still. I got KU bumped up to 1 now just because Alabama dropped. Then I have Houston at 2. Actually, I don't know why I have Houston at 2. Houston lost. I'm going to change this up real quick. Gonzaga at number 2 with their impressive win. UConn at 3. Auburn at 4. And we'll put... Sure, we'll put Alabama there at 5.
No, Baylor.
No, I don't. Baylor's not better than Alabama. Baylor's not better than Alabama. No, Kyle. Kyle.
They will be. They
your
will be.
Big
They will
12
be.
bias is coming
They
out.
will be.
No,
They will be. They will be.
no,
They will be.
no,
They will be.
no, no.
They will
Clip
be.
it here. Clip it here. That Kyle's gonna be totally
Clip
wrong.
it here. Do it.
So dumb, dummy. But go figure. It is Kyle we are talking about here. But hey, we had a really good fight weekend. P4 had some good fights, some good knockouts. What do we got cooking for UFC Fight Night?
Well, John Jones is a goofball.
Pound for pound, greatest of all time, said by Dana White.
Well, that's what Dana says. So off in the beginning of the card, Eduardo Mora, she got a win, decision unanimous. Oban Elliott got a win, KO in the first minute. That's pretty cool for Oban Elliott.
Phenomenal fight.
Mickey Gall, he ended up losing first round knockout to Ramirez. Marcin Tybura got a win. I mean, this is a pretty cool fight, stacked kind of beginning to end. You got some of these guys, Marcin Tybura, who's not ranked, but or is ranked. He's top 10 in the heavyweight, but he's one of those heavyweights you don't see a whole lot of. Then Oban Elliott, or isn't on that like higher level. Oban Elliott, he could be going through the ranks wearing his cap
bloody
at the end of
murder.
the fight.
I'm pretty sure that every time you sign with the UFC, Dana White goes, "You have to be a Trump supporter. You have to be a Trump supporter." Sorry.
So expect
mean,
Oban
it's fair.
to get the next title fight. He got the performance of the night after wearing his hat. He'll get the next title fight as well for wearing the hat. Then we go on to the prelims. Roberto Romero, he lost unanimous decision to David Almana, Mexican fighter. Whoops. Jim Miller got a first round sub, which is pretty cool. Damon
Didn't he
Jackson's
retire?
crazy looking.
Didn't
Yeah,
Jim
he's a
Miller retire?
goofy. Look at
I
that
think he
guy.
retired.
Did Jim Miller retire? Probably.
I think he did.
But Jim Miller, 40 years old, still kicking it. Chris Weidman, this fight looks like...
Nope,
it was
not done
canceled.
yet.
Jonathan Martinez, Marcus McGee.
Oh,
Marcus McGee
wow.
got the win.
Sorry.
1 second, let's see the replay.
That looks like a PI. I could be wrong though.
It's a push-off. That's a PI on Higgins. That's a
Says he's
PI on
gonna
Higgins.
stop fighting when he hits 50 fights.
UFC 400. Marcio Rufi, he got a win, another fighting nerd. So that was pretty cool. He was a crazy... Incomplete pass. He was a crazy favorite. Viviane Araújo from Brazil. She got a win. The fuck is that?
I have no
Whatever.
idea.
Power through.
Oh, it's Kyle's dumb mic.
Well, what happened?
Bo Nickel, he got a win over Paul Craig.
Okay,
Paul,
Bo like looked like trash.
I don't know what makes you say that.
Well, he
Why?
didn't like he won, but it wasn't like. I didn't think he fought as well as he had before.
No good. Money Mac missed another. Holy fucking shit. No, Bo fought the exact same way he fights usually, and Paul Craig did a good job with his feints, not allowing a takedown opportunity for Bo, and it showed Bo's immaturity and how much better he is than the rest of the division, and how lopsided UFC fighters are in their knowledge of wrestling. I think him versus Hamzat would be a very interesting bout as of right now. I'd probably take Hamzat in that fight. I think Bo's hands are incredible. He's got combos. He gives me Tyron Woodley vibes. Wrestler, but he'll punch because it's a punching sport. Doing good checking the leg kicks. So did Paul Craig. Paul Craig checked a bunch of leg kicks, which doesn't help Bo. But Bo was keeping him at bay with the leg kicks. Paul Craig didn't get anything going. How did Paul Craig look? Paul Craig's a title contender.
Yeah, he did not look very good either. The fight.
Okay, so there you go. I mean, it shows that Bo Nickel, 6 fights into his MMA career, is Paul Craig's level, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not Hamzat. He wasn't training in the mountains for the last fucking 25 years and just popped out of nowhere already 17-0 or whatever, like Khabib. This guy was in America, in the public eye, as a wrestler, national champion, ended up going to MMA, got signed to the UFC, maybe a little too early, got pushed up the rankings, maybe a little too early, fights Paul Craig in a fight that he probably shouldn't be having, and wins pretty decisively, I may add as well. He won every round. Paul Craig really got nothing going, and Bo looked good. Now, if Bo can now use his power in his wrestling, go, oh, I don't actually give a fuck if you're defending it or not. I'm just going to wrestle you like how Khabib does, how GSP did, how Chael Sonnen did. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put my forehead in your chest, and you're going to go on the ground. Oh, Josh Palmer drops it. 4th and 10. Oh my God, are they going to punt? This game's going to end in a tie. No one wants to score. This is crazy. But Bo Nickel looked good. I like Bo, and I hope he does good. I mean, this will affect his betting odds going forward. I think that's the thing to mention. Charles Oliveira, he got fight of the night. He was just toying with Chandler. Yeah. Chandler's such a fucking goofball. And Connor, I'm pretty sure Connor still hasn't even said anything about it. Connor's been radio silent on Twitter.
He's doing too much cocaine. Got into John Bones' stuff.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything for 5 days. That's crazy. So yeah, Michael Chandler, goofball, Charles Oliveira, absolutely destroyed him. The champion has a name, Du Bronx. Kyle was trying to talk, but he was muted.
I was trying to say I saw Charles. I forgot that this was the bout right before the Jones. And I was like, wait, why is Charles fighting Chandler? Like, is this like serious? I was like, are we being serious right now?
Well,
and I know the odds.
Anyone not named Islam Makhachev, which is crazy.
Yes, exactly. And if he does, it's over. Like, which is funny. I did like Chandler's little jumping around and falling back on.
Oh, that was so dumb. That was WWE.
Funny.
And you could see Oliveira was goofing around with him. That's something that just makes Michael Chandler look cool. That's not even that cool. That's something that...
Well, it wasn't cool because he was getting smoked. He was getting smoked is what he was getting.
Well, I mean, that's not even a reasonable move. That's like something like a dad would do with his kid.
Imagine.
Like it's like not like falling on their back like that, but like that's ridiculous.
No, it was a WWE move. It was WWE for sure.
It looks cool, and I mean, I would venture to say that everyone in this podcast, and you would hope people in this country were at the same fitness level to do that. That wasn't like a crazy fitness level. That's picking up a 150 pound backpack as a 150 pound person.
Yeah.
And just getting up with it on the back.
Close.
But Oliveira, champion, has a name. Do Bronx, do Bronx, do Bronx. And then we go on to the main event of the evening, which is so dumb. They use the old gloves. I still don't get it. They're just laying down everything they can for John Jones. He's still gonna duck Tom Aspinall. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, he's not fighting Tom. He's not. He'll relinquish the belt. He's not.
I know. I saw this thing that said, "Who are the top 3 heavyweight MMA fighters in the world?" And it goes Francis Ngannou, the UFC interim title, and then the UFC undisputed title. The UFC undisputed title at this point in time is the 3rd best heavyweight champion. This is absolutely ridiculous. But regardless, Stipe, congratulations to a retirement. Great UFC career, incredible person. Just an absolute specimen, one of the most incredible people. He's now going to retire to full-time firefighter duty, which is absolutely insane. That a guy could be that fucking cool. But Stipe, liver shot, kidney shot, whatever. John Jones continues.
This is a rib shot, I guess.
Yeah,
just got
whatever.
hit really hard in the chest.
Oh my god, now it's 4th down. Neither of these teams want to score. It is so funny. This is like me and Madden. Just like a 3 and out, 3 incomplete passes. But going along here, coming up, we have this fight card. Yan versus Figueiredo. I believe this is in China, the Chinese card. Davidson Figueiredo, who's moved up to bantamweight, takes on Peter Yan. This will be a very exciting fight. I'm very interested to see how this goes. Peter Yan right now is your betting favorite, almost 3-1 odds. Davidson Figueiredo, I may take him in this bout. I don't like him 3-1. I mean, I'll take that money. Plus money, I take him. Then you have a lot of Chinese fighters on this card for China. Muslim Salikov in a welterweight bout. Carlos Olberg, shout out Nick Howard. He's a big Carlos Olberg fan for some reason. A lot of other Chinese guys. Carlos Hernandez, Mexican fighter, UFC. A lot of Chinese fighters. So if you're interested in the Chinese fight, then check it out this weekend. Other than that, it's very exciting for Yan versus Figueiredo. Then coming up, we have UFC 310. This one, it kind of fell apart after this whole ordeal with the interim. What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Vlad McConkey. But Pantoja versus Askura took over. Shavkat Rakhmonov was going to fight, the fuck's his name?
Red Bullet.
Bilal Muhammad for the title, but Bilal Muhammad fell out. So now it's Ian Machado Gary versus Shavkat Rakhmonov, which also pushed back Hakeem Buckley. We'll get to that in a second. But also Cyril Gane takes on Alexander Volkov in a heavyweight title eliminator bout. I don't know if this really affects anything. If Gane wins, maybe now he'll fight Tom. But now Tom's ducking Gane because Gane was ducking Tom. Then you have Doohoo Choi. Nick Diaz, he has dropped out of this fight. Good luck, Nick. I know you're going through a lot of stuff. But Vincent Luque, someone else has stepped in to fight him. Then Mosvar Ivalev takes on Aljamain Sterling. This will be a very interesting fight. Aljamain Sterling, who's moved up in a very similar situation to Davidson Figueiredo, who's fighting this weekend, and Movsar Ivalev, who I believe is undefeated, 18-0 in the featherweight division. He's a good fighter. He's one of these Russians that may have something. Randy Brown, Brian Battle. Let's see what Brian Battle does. Dominic Reyes versus Anthony Smith. Awesome fight in 2014, let's say. Joshua Van, he comes back, one of the youngest fighters on the card versus Cody Durden, who kind of stinks. Joshua Van, one of the youngest fighters in the UFC, 11-2, lost his last fight, I believe. Could have been. I'm not sure. Yeah, lost his last fight. But I believe he's only 22, 23 years old. So good luck to Joshua Van. I'll be rooting for him against Cody Durden. Clay Guida versus Chase Hooper, another good young fighter. Michael Chiesa versus Matt Griffin. Pretty good card put together here for UFC 310. So Dana did his job.
Oh, we got it!
How
Lab
crazy.
McConkey.
He's good at
White boys.
football.
Yep, so that just about does it for upcoming UFC. That goes 2 weeks out. After that, we're kind of slim pickings for now. But yep, some good fights coming up, some good fights happening. Let's see what happens with Tom Aspinall. The heavyweight division should be cleared up by the next time we talk. At least some sort of news, you'd hope. They do matchmaking on Tuesdays, as Dana says every press conference. So we'll see. Duke's doing good. I won. I'm doing Jets mock drafts now. We're ranked number 8.
No.
It's already mock draft time, dude. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Are you doing smarter dumb practice? Is that what you're doing?
Oh, is that? Okay.
That's it,
well,
dude.
Let's get
That's
into
what we're.
Let's get into smarter dumb. I don't want to. I'm just going through my tabs because I'm sharing my screen. But that does it for UFC.
Yeah, I guess we'll play Smarter Dumb. Me and P4 are fighting against each other for the very first week again. We'll see if my streak continues of being dumb. Maybe they won't because Kyle and I share the same 2 brain cells. So, I own 2 of them most of the time. He's usually brainless, but, somehow he keeps beating me in this stupid game. But, Mr. Stelting.
Oh my word! Is he gonna score?
He did.
He did score.
Insane. All right, guys. I got the questions here. Before I say it, just going over the questions. Don't think too hard. Don't think too less. There's no really
so think
trick
like a normal
answer.
person.
Yeah, don't think that there's a trick. It's a trick question. Just try to think as smart as you can, or else you're dumb. We'll go with the first question, guys. You guys ready?
I guess.
You guys guess. You always guess, don't you? First question. We're going to start off with the NBA, guys. Who has the most NBA rebound, or who has the most rebounds in NBA history?
In NBA history?
20 seconds. Most rebounds in NBA history.
Okay.
5 seconds. Time is up. Gentlemen, what do we got?
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell, and we have Wilt Chamberlain. You guys are both wrong. It's Kevin Garnett.
What?
Really?
Really?
Kevin Garnett,
Oh.
yes. P4 is looking it up right now. Just kidding,
I
he
know, I
can't.
don't believe.
He can't. All right, guys.
Really? He
Question
did?
number
Huh.
2.
Wait.
Hey, you take
What are
that
you
off.
talking about? No, it's not.
Is it not? Who is it?
Chamberlain 10
No.
all-time stats. Rebounds, total rebounds. Yeah, 23,000. And Kevin.
Oh,
Garnett.
wow. Look at that. All right, well, P4
14,000.
gets the right answer. Holy
What
cow.
I'm better than fucking.
I didn't look-
That's so
guy.
fucking stupid.
I didn't look at stat.
Well, what do you
Okay,
mean? I got the right answer.
That's fucking
Well,
dumb,
well,
bro.
Wait, so I'm
The
gonna
right
give
answer
my own
wa-
answers to my question.
was
No,
Wilt
it's fine, just
Chamberlain.
keep playing.
The right answer is...
Kyle's dumb. We all know that
Sorry,
already.
guys.
You can't freaking have the right answer, so I think I'm still fine.
Sorry,
Because we're gonna give it P4 the early
sorry,
lead
sorry.
Because you're
I'm
trying
sorry.
to trick everybody. They can act like you're smarter than you are. What's your next question?
Anyways, let's go to... I have the right answer to this question.
Are you sure?
Yes, I
Before you're
do.
ready to
I
fact
am
check.
most positive I do.
I wanna guess it first. I'm pretty good at this
Which
game. I'm better than
college
the
team?
host.
Which college team has the most NBA players of all time? Which college team has produced the most NBA players of all time? Got 5 seconds. All right, pencils down. What do we got? P4 has UCLA or P. Okay, you both have UCLA. You guys are both wrong. It is Kentucky with 119. UCLA is number 2 with 99. Number 3, Duke 97. Number 4, North Carolina 94. Number 5, Kansas at 77. You.
I had the
Okay.
top 3 right, just in the wrong order. Duke and Kentucky.
True. Okay, guys, I did so much research on this one. I know I am correct. I do know I am correct. Question number 3. Which team has the most BCS national championships that are in the Big 12 right now?
College football?
College football.
That's in the Big 12 right now?
In the Big 12 right now. I'll give you a little bit more time. So think of all the teams in the Big 12 right now. Which team has the most BCS national championships?
Jeez, the Big
Does
12
any
is-
team have a BCS national championship? How many? What team has the most?
I got my answer.
It's a little tough without Oklahoma and Texas, isn't it?
Yeah,
And Nebraska.
Big 12 sucks.
All right. P4, you ready?
No, not yet, not yet.
You got 10 seconds.
All right.
All right. Time is up. Let's see it. P4 says Colorado. PC said Iowa State. You guys are both wrong. Nobody has a BCS national championship.
So it's a trick question.
So hold on.
Not
At the very
it's not a
beginning-
trick
at the
question.
very
No.
beginning- At the very beginning, Kyle goes, "Don't think too smart, but don't think too dumb. Think right in the middle." And I'm not gonna try and do anything that's a trick for you. Just so we're putting that.
No. It's not a
This is why
trick
he's the worst
question.
host ever.
It's not a trick.
Framed to who?
It's not a trick question.
The
It was
question
who.
framed who?
Okay, but if
So,
nobody has it, then
the
it's
right answer
nobody.
is nobody? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, the right answer was nobody. Also, Iowa State is nowhere close, by the way. They don't even have a 10-win season.
I was trying to think back. I go, no,
I had no
Colorado
idea.
never-
Colorado, the only one that you could maybe say that is BYU when they had an unclaimed national championship in '84.
Where does UCF?
All right, guys.
How much are they in?
UCF,
Yeah.
they're in Big 12.
They, UCF would have been the right answer.
No, they wouldn't.
They were
UCF
national
doesn't have
champs
it.
in, like 2008
No.
or whatever.
No. UCF doesn't have a national championship in any sport ever, team-wise. Guys, question number 4. It's a baseball question. This one should be easy. Who has the most WAR, or wins above replacement, of all time in the MLB? Now, before you answer the question, this is out of every single WAR, like Baseball Reference, Fangraphs, all of the WAR. I looked up who was the top. It's the same guy.
Is this like since a certain date and time?
Yes, like throughout history of the MLB. Who has the most wins above replacement, which is, determinant of how good of a baseball player you are, out of all time in the MLB? You guys have 20 seconds after I... P4, you got 5 seconds. 2, 1. P4, put it down. Let's see him. We got Barry Bonds. We got Sammy Sosa. Guys are both wrong. It's Babe Ruth.
Makes
He
sense.
was a pitcher. He was a pitcher, guys.
But for not his entire career.
Give us our last question so we can stop playing this stupid game. Just kidding.
You
I,
got
like
one
this.
right
I like
yet.
this. No.
I
No.
tried my best to make this question, guys. It's coming up to Christmas time. I looked at the charts. I looked at everything else. I made sure that this one was easier for you guys, so it's not a well, this one was here, whatever. What Christmas movie has the highest gross? It was the highest grossing before 2010. There's no Christmas movie that you guys know very well that was before 2010. That is up at the top because a lot of them are like random, you won't know. So think of the most popular you know. What is the highest grossing Christmas movie that was before 2010? These are the ones you guys would know.
I got my answer. I'm putting my lid on.
P4, you got 20 seconds.
What the fuck?
This is the movie theaters, not like fucking watching them on the television. Ten seconds.
I think I might be wrong, but that's okay. I'm usually wrong on these things.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Let's see it. We have The Grinch, A Christmas Story,
Was much before
and
2000.
and P4. That's the Jim Carrey Grinch, correct?
I think that's the only one before 2000 since 2010.
Yes. The correct answer was Home Alone,
How's my
the
When was
first
that
one,
released?
1990 something.
You said before 2000, after 2010.
Is it before?
All right.
Whatever, you're still winning.
Which is
anyways.
funny because you know what's funny? PC, I gave you because if it was after 2000, if it was like all of it, the newest Grinch movie was the highest grossing one, the one that
That
was
makes sense, though.
animated.
It's an
Not the
animated
Jim Carrey one. I know the one that P4 said was the Jim Carrey one.
No, I said whatever one was before since 2010. I understood the question wrong. If the question was phrased differently, I would have won.
You're still winning. I got none
I would
right.
have won better.
I'll do better next time, guys.
PC,
I thought
I'm not playing against you.
Well,
I'm playing against the leaderboard.
Dude!
If I played against you, I wouldn't even answer half these fucking
bro,
questions.
what do you want me to do when you guys come up with these stupid fucking questions every time? They're dumb.
Whoa.
See, if I'd be able to be host. See, I'm so smart that your stupid questions don't register with me. That's how this works. That's math in my head.
News and Sports Podcast.
Wrap it up, P4. Tell the people what you got to say so we can get out of here so I can go sulk in my disappointing failure at playing dudes or Sparta.
Yeah, classic Big Ten matchup of UCLA and UW last weekend. Very exciting game. Happy to go to that. And Chargers look good. Oregon looked good. Justin Herbert looked good. Getting ready for the rest of the football season. Mock draft season is upon us. Go Jets. Go Mets. Juan Soto's going to be a Met by the next podcast. And goodbye, folks.
K-Stout!
Good Saturday for Kansas. I missed a lot of UFC because of reffing basketball, but you know, Jake Paul versus Tyson, silly. I'm surprised P4 didn't even bring it up so he could talk about
Don't
his
need to give
new.
that guy any public-
He did. I'm surprised he didn't bring it up because I thought he was gonna want to talk about his new girlfriend Sydney Thomas. That he found out about. I know he did. He's a Sydney girl is what he is. Other than that, Gotta love sports. We're getting really, really close to the heart of college basketball, where it gets it gets really fun. Duke and Kansas are coming up, but once the next new year hits, we got that conference play, and it's gonna be very exciting.
All right, like, subscribe. Thanks for hanging out with us in our hour.